The artist Banksy opens up a hotel called the Walled Off Hotel. This is in Bethlehem. And it's not only a hotel, it's also a museum, a protest, and a gallery in one. It's 5 meters from the barrier. And Banksy has a lot of things to say. We're gonna also talk about the hotel, but he says here, quote, walls are hot right now, but I was into them long before Donald Trump made it cool. He's been doing his paintings on the barrier for almost a decade, if not over a decade. And then also the manager says of the hotel says, quote, this is to theguardian.com, I would like to invite everyone to come here, invite Israeli civilians to come visit us here. We want them to learn more about us because when they know us, it will break down the stereotypes and things will change. Also, right now it's banned for Israelis to come visit Bethlehem and visit some of those tourist sites, but they have specifically launched this hotel, built this hotel on a military controlled site where Israelis can actually stay there. However, it is noted that all the roads to reach it involved are illegal. So your journey would be illegal, but once you're there, you're safe to be there. And there's 10 rooms. This opens on March 20th, if I have not said that yet, 10 rooms, and there's different categories of luxury. So you have like this really luxurious penthouse, and then you have like these other rooms that are more affordable with bunk beds. And there's a number of different installations within the hotel that will help shine a light on the conflict between Palestine and Israel. And his whole point is to hopefully bridge the gap and get people to think about it and to essentially paint a different picture. That should have been my 5 words. Damn, now I gotta, okay.
You can do it.
No, it's 5 words or less.
Coolest hotel of them walls.
Check-ins at 11.
It's a trap, Israelis.
Paints a different picture. This is so cool. I still don't believe after 10, 15 years how he's still anonymous, how he still is able to, people don't know who he is.
Yeah. When does he do his stuff? In the dead of night.
And he's rich.
In the dead of night, he's always like hooded and masked and people don't know who he is.
He wears a Guy Fawkes mask. He's worth $20 million.
At
least.
How? Just by selling his art through museums?
I'm sure he has anonymous investors in his work and whatnot, but this dude must have balls of adamantium to put a hotel in a very charged and tension-filled area. And also like you said, it's like Escape from Alcatraz. The roads to get there are illegal, but once you get there, it's like the pot at the end of the rainbow. Yeah. And it's only 10 rooms. Like it's just this whole. It's very fascinating why he's trying to do this, and I think it's a testament and very impressive that they allowed him to put this where they put it. It's not like it's in a very dangerous place.
Well, that's what he loves to infiltrate and be on ground zero and really push that provocative agenda through his art, so people do think about the other side.
And his brand has always been walls.
Yep.
Like he's always put his artwork on walls.
Always.
I think that this is really a perfect outlet for his artistry. I also think that with regards to the hotel only being 10 rooms, it's because I think he wants it to be an immersive experience. This is
right. It's a gallery. It's a protest. It's
this is a really controversial topic that a lot of people, myself included, are not well informed enough to speak on thoroughly, but I think that opportunities like this to stay in a hotel like this would be the sort of thing that for people that want to learn more, to really understand what's going on at the ground level, could be very interested in, because it's one of those situations where we hear one thing from the American government, and then you hear another thing that you find online, then you hear another thing from the BBC or like from different news organizations, so it's hard to exactly tell where to fall, but ultimately I think art always comes from a place of compassion and empathy, so that's why I'm inclined to really celebrate his opening of this hotel, because I think he's done so with the best of intentions, and he's the best artist to do so.
His art definitely, like yeah, it's so good. If you ever get the chance to just go look for some Banksy work,
or exit through the gift shop, I think is on Netflix, maybe HBO Go. It's a documentary about him.
He has a book that's all full of it, and I went to one of his shows once, and it was just sick.
Wow.
It's so good. And then a friend of mine over on 3rd Street in Robertson, there was a Banksy that was someone peeing on a wall.
Yeah.
He's like, my friend's a contractor. He went in the dead of night and cut the wall out.
How much money did he get for it?
He kept it.
Oh,
he still has it.
Oh,
but he cut it out of the wall. That was so the ballsiest thing I've ever seen. And then later they patched the wall over. And then Banksy came back and painted another one.
Well, what's crazy too is my speaking of like contractors and buildings, my husband was renting out of a building a while ago with our candles, and the building had an enormous Banksy on it. And it was because the landlord was friends with Banksy, and I guess Banksy had done the mural for him. And then when the lease was up, what happened was they came in, and there's a way to, I'm looking at the wall like this is the Banksy wall. There's a way to steam it off or just like retract it off where you can have it essentially where it's not the wall, but you can still have it as a painting. And that alone went for like $250,000. They later sold it and then told Mark like a few months later that they got like $250,000 for
amazing.
that extraction. I don't know what the proper language is of what that they did or what that is, but isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's super crazy, Sam. Because I mean, this is the first time I'm hearing of Banksy, and I'm sorry.
What?
I'm sorry. I know, audience.
That's weird. I
I'm
have those
sorry.
things where it's just a pocket. You know,
it's
But
just-
Urban
yeah.
Outfitters blew him up like, I don't know, like 6 years ago.
I don't know the shop
You'd
offers.
recognize it. You'd recognize it.
Yeah, you would recognize it in a heartbeat, babe.
Do you think so? When I was reading the article and looking at the pictures of where the hotel was, do you think there's a level of danger for people visiting the hotel though?
Yeah.
Because
For sure.
if
But if they're there regardless, or you're
Something's
saying
awesome about
specifically
this.
because of the hotel?
Right.
Yeah.
Something, yes, it becomes a target, which makes it, there's people who want that danger, but also in doing so, he made it so that you learn something and you have an opportunity to make yourself better informed by never even visiting it, never having any intention to go there,
Right.
just by virtue of the fact that it was put in the right place at the right time, the right way to get folks to talk about it. And that's something that Banksy's been so great at. All that stuff that you'll instantly recognize. Stencils that he does, just that juxtapose something very terrifying with something very innocent. And it's just fantastic. Because you hear a name like Banksy and you're like, oh my God, this is overblown. Why the hell's everybody into it? But when you see it, you're just like, damn, you're good. You understand what you're doing.
I get where you're coming from with his intention of wanting to educate and his good-natured actions with this. But the reason why I'm saying danger is because of the. Not everyone that's in that region is going to share the same feelings as we do. So, I mean, let's say I'm an American or I'm someone visiting that, and you have these extremist groups that are suicide bombs that know that this is now a target that's speaking positively about Israelis, and I have a conflict with Israeli people.
Or vice versa.
Or vice versa. Yes, that could be a very dangerous situation for tourists, for anyone, I guess, in the vicinity. Is what I'm trying to say.
You're right.
I mean, it's not like you put this in the middle of Santa Monica and Robertson.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's exactly underscores who he is as an artist. He wouldn't put it on Melrose and Robertson. He would put it in Bethlehem. So please continue the conversation, and we'll see you next time on Pop Trigger.